Okay, then he says that you have to repeat the same by using a modem of speed 3000 K. And also he says that the transmission is accomplished in packets consisting of a start bit, a byte of information, and a stop bit. Okay, now can you think how to calculate the total time required by using modem of a specific speed? In generally, I can say that the time required is equal to the size of the image, that is total number of bits to be transmitted for that image, divided by the speed of the modem. Speed of the modem means number of bits transmitted per second. Okay, in the first case, we consider first case, that is time required with 56K baud. We consider this first case. So we have totally 1024 by 1024 pixels. But remember, for each pixel, we require 8 bits because he has given 256 intensity levels, right? But however, we have one more condition. The condition is that for transmitting each byte of data, we require to send one start bit and one stop bit. Therefore, the total amount of data to be transmitted is 1024 into 1024 in bracket 8 plus 2. I have taken 8 because each pixel requires 8 bits. And I have taken plus 2. Plus 2 is for each byte of data, that is for each 8 bit of data, you require one start bit and one stop bit. That's why I have written 1024 into 1024 into in bracket 8 plus 2 divided by the speed of the modem he has given as 56K, that is 56 into 10 to the power 3. Okay, now if you calculate, we get the total time required to transmit this image is 187.25 seconds. Or in minutes, you can calculate it as 3.1 minutes. You got the answer in seconds, then later it can be converted into minutes simply by dividing by 60, right? Okay, we have the second bit, that is time required to transmit the same image by using a modem of speed 3000 K. So that again in the numerator it is same. We write 1024 into 1024 into in bracket 8 plus 2. For each pixel, I require 8 bits. And for each 8 bit of data, I have to send one start bit and one stop bit. So numerator is going to remain same. In the denominator, the speed of the modem is given as 3000 K, that is 3000 into 10 to the power 3. So if we compute this, we are going to get the answer as 3.5 seconds. Students, based on the basics of the image, you may expect such questions in the exam. Okay. Then next we can expect the problems which are based on adjacency, or even we can say the neighbors of the pixel. Okay. Okay, here we have the problems based on adjacency. Just I will read out the problem. The problem is like this. Consider the image segment shown. Okay, this is the image segment. Image segment means simply a matrix. He has given this matrix with elements as 3121, 2202, 1211, 1012. This is the image segment he has given, right? He says in the bit A of the problem, he says let v equal to 0, 1 and compute the length of shortest 4, 8 and m path between the pixels P and Q. Okay, in the matrix he has shown this pixel as P and this pixel as Q, right? So he is asking to find out the length of shortest 4, 8 and m path between P and Q. And also he says if a particular path does not exist between these 2 points, explain why. Okay, this is bit A. And bit B, we have repeat the same with v equal to 1, 2. Okay, let us see what is the meaning of this problem. Okay, first we consider bit A. He has given b equal to 0, comma 1. This vector b, it represents set of pixels, that is pixels with values 0 and 1. Now between this p and q, we have to find out four path, but that path should consist of only pixels with values 0 and 1. We have to find out whether we can reach from pixel P to pixel Q with pixel values 0 and 1, but using four paths. Just try to recall, in four paths, we can move either horizontally or we can move vertically. Only horizontal and vertical neighbors are considered as four neighbors of the pixel. Okay. Now let us see how to solve this problem. Okay, here we have the solution for this problem. First, we consider figure A. This is figure A we have. Okay, now I'll start from point P. I have to reach to the pixel Q. I have to find four paths. Four paths means I can move either horizontally or I can move vertically. But while moving from P to Q using four paths, remember that path should consist of only pixels with values either 0 or 1. Okay, now we start moving from this point P, so that I'll move from 1 to 0, 1 to 0. I can also move like this also, 1 to 1. However, afterwards, we won't find 0 or 1, right? That's why we choose this particular path, 1 to 0. Okay. Next, 0 to 1. Yes, it is possible. Again, I can move vertically, 1 to 1. Next, I can also move 1 to 0, right? But after that, I can't reach the pixel Q because I have to make a diagonal moment. But however, in four path, the diagonal moment is not allowed. We can select either horizontal or vertical path such that that path should consist of pixels with values either 0 or 1. So after that, we cannot move to the pixel Q. So the answer for this first part is with v equal to 0, comma 1. Here I have written the answer. With v equal to 0, comma 1, four path does not exist. We can't have four path between P and Q with v equal to 0, comma 1. The reason is because it is impossible to travel from point P to Q with v equal to 0, comma 1. I hope you are understanding this problem, right? Okay, similarly, we have the second part of the bit A, that is 8 path. Okay, just try to recall 8 neighbors or 8 path means you can move horizontally, vertically, also diagonally. The diagonal neighbors and the 4 neighbors of the pixel, they are called as 8 neighbors. That's why while finding the 8 path, you can move both horizontally, vertically, also diagonally. But remember, while moving, you have to choose the pixels with values only 0 or 1. Okay, let us consider this example. Okay, just scan this image, that is figure B. I'm discussing 1 to 0. Then after that, I'm choosing diagonal path because we need shortest path. So after this first arrow mark, I can move 0 to 1. Yes, it is possible. Then 1 to 0, then 0 to 1. Because in 8 path, we can move diagonally also. We have selected this path 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, and 0 to 1. So now I can say that with v equal to 0, comma 1, the 8 path exists between P and Q. Now the question is, what is the shortest distance? The distance you have to calculate. Distance means just count the number of arrow mark you have drawn on the diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that the shortest distance is equal to 4. But students don't think that there exists a unique path. there might be multiple paths between P and Q with B equal to 0, 1. But you have to decide which one is the shortest 8 path, right? So in this example, I have shown this as the one of the 8 path, and its distance is 4. So 4 is the shortest distance. You can have even different moves also, but see that it should have the shortest distance, right? So 4 path does not exist between P and Q with V equal to 0, 1. 8 path exists between P and Q with V equal to 0, 1. That vector V indicates the pixels which we can consider in the path, right? Okay. And M path I'll discuss later. I'll take a separate session on this because it is a little bit complex. Okay. Then I'll go to the bit B. Okay, in the bit B, he has asked to repeat with V equal to 1, 2. What is the meaning? The meaning is that you have to repeat the process, but with pixels 1 and 2. Okay, now you consider this figure, that is figure C. So again, this is pixel P and this is pixel Q. Again, we are going to start with 4 path. Recall 4 path means we can move horizontally as well as vertically. But while moving, this time you can move only if you have the pixels with values 1 or 2. Okay, now accordingly, I can move from this point P to 1, 1 to 1, okay. Vertically I have moved, then 1 to 2, horizontally I have selected, 2 to 1, okay. Next 1 to 1, sorry, then again 1 to 2, 2 to 1. But you can observe that whatever the path we have chosen, that path is consisting of only pixels with values 1 and 2. Okay, now I can say that for this bit B, I can say that with V equal to 1, 2, 4 path exists between P and Q. Yes, path is existing, and this path consists of only pixels with value 1 and 2. Now you have to specify the distance of this path. Distance means again you count the number of arrow mark you have shown on the matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that the shortest distance is 6. Okay, next in the bit B, again with V equal to 1, 2, we'll find out 8 path. Okay, in the figure D, this part is the solution for 8 path. Okay, with V equal to 1, 2, between P and Q, I have to find the shortest path. So 1 to 2 diagonal moment, 2 to 2 vertical, 2 to 2 diagonal, 2 to 1 horizontal. Okay, so somehow we must be able to reach from P to Q. Students, I'm repeating once again, don't think that there exists a unique path. There might be multiple paths between pixels P and Q. But see that the path should consist of pixels with values 1 and 2, and remember it should be the shortest path. Okay, we have shown the path, then we have to calculate the distance. So again we count number of arrow marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the shortest distance is 4. Okay. Students, definitely you may get one problem based on this concept in the exam. Okay, try to understand what is 4 path, what is 8 path. 4 path is you are allowed to move horizontally and vertically only. 8 path means you can move either vertically, horizontally, or even diagonally also. Okay, but while moving like this, you have to consider the pixels whose value is given as a vector V. Okay, this is the solution. You may expect such questions for about 10 to 12 marks. Just if you open the previous question papers, you will find such problems carrying about 8 to 12 marks. Okay. Then I'll give some more problems as the exercise. You solve it and try to find the answers. Okay. Okay, next, in today's class, I would like to discuss one more concept, that is linear and non-linear operations on the image. Okay, let us see what is the meaning of linear and non-linear operations of the image. Okay, generally I can say that any operations that satisfies this equation, any operation satisfying this equation can be referred to as linear operation. And on the other hand, the operation which does not satisfy this particular condition or equation can be referred to as non-linear operation. Okay, let us see this particular equation. Okay, in this equation, H is the operation. H is an operator whose input and output are images. Just try to understand this equation. H is an operation whose input and output are images. And here F and G, they are the two images. F and G, they are any images. A and B, they are the constants, or they are two scalars. Okay, in the equation, H indicates the operation, some operation on the image whose input and output both are images, right? F and G, they are the images on which the operation is carried out. A and B, they are two scalars. Okay. Now, if you look at the equation is like this. H in bracket AF plus BG equal to A into H of F plus B into H of G, right? Okay, if you go through this equation, this equation says that applying some operation H on some of images B and G, which are multiplied by A and B, will be same as that of applying the operation H individually on the images F and G and adding them with the scalar multiplication is going to remain same. So just I will read out. In other words, the result of applying a linear operation to the sum of two images that have been multiplied by the constants as shown is similar to that of applying the operation to the images individually and multiplying the results by appropriate constants and then adding those results. So any operation that is satisfying this particular equation is called as linear operation. Okay, the very good example for linear operation is computing sum of k number of images. Finding sum of k number of images is an example for linear operation. What is the meaning of finding sum of k images? Basically, image is nothing but matrix. Okay, if you have k images, means you have k number of matrices. So adding these matrices is a very good example for linear operation because they can be added in any order, but however we are going to get the same result. Okay. On the other hand, an operator that computes absolute value of the difference of two images is not a linear operation. Okay, because the operator fails satisfying this particular condition, right? So this is about linear and non-linear operations. Simply you write this equation and you can say that any operation that is going to satisfy this equation is called as linear operation, and any operation which fails to satisfy this condition is known as non-linear operation. Okay, and you have to explain this parameters in the equation, right? H is the operation, F and G, they are the two images, A and B, they are the two scalars. So in generally, in the image processing, the linear operations are very important because they're based on well understood theoretical and practical results. Because in the linear operations, you can predict what is going to happen after performing the operation. But however, nonlinear operations, they are sometimes better. They may give better performance, but however, they cannot be predictable. And for the most part, not well understood theoretically. Okay, that's why generally we can say that linear operations, they produce much well understood theoretical and practical results, but on the contrary, the nonlinear operations, they are not always predictable. Okay, they may be predictable sometimes, even they may provide the better performance also. Okay, but for most part, the nonlinear operations, they are not well understood theoretically, and they cannot be used in the image processing all the time. Okay, so these are the things we have discussed in the today's class. And students, this is